What is good, Sixer Nation? You already know who this is. DFJ Hoops here, back again with another live stream. Oh my goodness. The Sixers have been making subtle moves to the roster that we gotta talk about it. They brought back a few players that was on the team from last year. We gotta talk about it. And then free agency starts tonight. We're gonna talk about potential trade targets for the Sixers, potential free agents that they could possibly sign to help improve this team. And then we're gonna talk about everything else. Everything's on the docket today. I got time, but appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Going in. Salute to my guy, Humble. Salute to Humble. My brother Humble always in the building. Appreciate you, bro. Says my brother DFJ. Not all superheroes wear capes. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the love and support. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Salute to my guy, One Mike in the building too. Boston Celtics fan says salute, bro. Appreciate you for being in here. Appreciate you. Boston, people are not really considering Boston as a threat, but I think they could be a threat if they make a few moves to the team. But yeah, appreciate you, bro. Jay is in the building. He says, sad we didn't get Trey Johnson. Um, you know what? Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about the draft. So, since the last time we talked, day 2 of the NBA draft, the Sixers with the 35th pick in the draft, the Sixers ended up picking Janai Broom from Auburn University with the 35th pick, which me personally, I don't really the second round doesn't really matter to me, and it hasn't mattered ever, right? Now I'm not saying you can get quality players out the second round, but for the most part, players that get drafted out of the second round don't really mean much, right? Now there's been some good players to come out the second round, right? Jokic was drafted out of the second round. He ended up, a 3-time MVP, possibly a top player of all time, right? But for the most part, you don't see those kind of stories, right? So Jokic was a kind of like a diamond in the rough, and that's what you tend to look for in the second round, right? Hopefully, you can get a player who could help your team, maybe not as a superstar or a franchise cornerstone, but hopefully somebody who could help your team. But after he got drafted, Sixer fans didn't really take it good because some fans wanted other players to be drafted. Other fans are not really happy with this move. But me personally, I think I think he's a very good player. I think he's more experienced. I mean, he played 5 years in college. He's a great, I mean, not a great, but he's a very, very good rebounder, which could really help the Sixers. But the thing is that he's not going to be playing on the team, right? He's going to have to prove himself in the G League before he can get any playing time on the Sixers because he's going to be playing behind. He's a center, so imagine this. He's going to be playing behind Joel Embiid. He's going to be playing behind Andre Drummond. Now, Andre Drummond picked up his player option, which we're going to get to in a few minutes from here. But, he's going to play behind Joel Embiid, Andre Drummond, Adem Bona, and then he'll possibly be the fourth string center. So he's not going to get any playing time here. So that's why I'm not really, you got to go prove yourself, right? You got to go prove yourself and show us that you deserve some quality playing time with the main roster. So that's what he has to do. Now, the only thing in the G League is that you don't get better when you play in the G League, right? Players don't get better. You don't get better in the G League, right? We saw Paul Reed, G League MVP, got all the accolades in the G League, but he came back to the main roster and he was pretty much the same player. Like nothing improved in his game. So that's the only thing. But if he's getting like quality playing time with the Sixers on the main roster, yeah, he could possibly improve his game, working a few things here or there, and try to add to his game more than what he already has. But me personally, like I said, I'm not really mad with the pick. It's fine. I'm more concerned, or I'm more with the third overall pick because I wanted to see who the Sixers were going to draft, and they ended up picking VJ Edgecombe, which I think my guy JU on the screen wasn't really wasn't really happy with the move. Me personally, I think Jay, you should definitely give him a chance, right? You should give him a chance, let him prove himself because me personally, I love his character. I love I love everything about him. He's very, very professional, very mature. He knows like every situation that he's in. When the Sixers introduced him at the press conference, like very, very mature answers, very professional answers. Look, I loved everything about him. And then right after the press conference, he was in the gym, putting in the work, trying to work on his game. So I think you should give him a chance. Probably not the offensive player that Trey Johnson is, which we're all we all love offense. Don't get it twisted, but I think his how he approaches the game. I think that's something that we need to focus on too, because mentality could mean a lot, right? A player's mentality could be something that you might not get from every player. I mean, Ben Simmons had the talent, but the mentality is just not there, right? And Ben Simmons didn't want to work on his game. Let's be honest. So I don't even want to I don't even want to go in on that bum, but that's besides the point. But these two players, the two players that the Sixers got from the draft, got introduced, at a press conference. Very 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 happy day for them too. They were really embraced by the Sixer fans. They were in the city. We're going out. VJ ended up asking for some good food spots in the city, and I think he I think he got to experience it. Right, this dude is just I just love his mentality, everything about him. So now do I think he's going to be a superstar? Maybe, probably not, but I think he can definitely be a very very good player on the Sixers, and he can help the Sixers get to where they want to get to from the guard position. I mean, that's the most he could do. Right, 6'4". I mean, 6'5", 6'6". Bigger guard. You can put him on those little guards that cause a lot of trouble on the offensive side of the floor from the other team. So, yeah, but as they were introduced, right, that's what they look like. Janai Broome ended up picking number 22 because he wanted number 4. That's what he was wearing in college. But unfortunately, the Sixers have number 4 retired in honor of Dolph Schayes, who was on the team in 1956, 1957, whenever that was, when they won the first championship, which was with the Syracuse Nationals. So he ended up picking 22, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's why he ended up choosing that number. And then VJ Edgecombe, on the other hand, ended up going with 77. Now, when I first saw him go for 77, I was saying to myself, is he a Luka Doncic fan? Because Luka is the only player who I had seen wearing number 77, right? But the thought behind that was he wanted number 7 because I think that was his number in college or whatever. And unfortunately, the Sixers have somebody wearing number 7, which is Kyle Lowry. So meaning that Kyle Lowry might be returning to the Sixers next season, which will really piss off a lot of Sixer fans because they don't want to see Kyle Lowry nowhere near the franchise. So, but me personally, my thoughts is always going to be the same. If our players are healthy, and when I say our players, I mean the guards, if they're healthy, Kyle Lowry's not going to get a lot of playing time because there's going to be too many guards that play in front of him, right? So, me personally, I'm not concerned. But this is what the two players look like in Sixers uniform, and it looks good on them, right? The blue, the red, the white, right? Sixer colors. There you see VJ number 77, and I mean you can't really see Janai's his number, but it's number 22, right? Rocking Sixers color. Very very proud to be with the team, and I'm looking forward to the season. I'm really looking forward to the season. I want to see how especially with VJ. I want to see how VJ plays with the team and how his game complements Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, and the list goes on. Salute to my guy Joseph. I was on his stream. This dude is very very intelligent. Very very intelligent about the game of basketball. Y'all should definitely check him out. Yeah, I really enjoy listening to him. But appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love and support. My guy Jay says Broome is ready. I mean, I don't think he's ready yet. I mean, because he got to go prove himself in the G League, right? You got to go to the G League, go prove yourself, go get the accolades or whatnot, and before I can trust to give him quality playing time on the main roster. So me personally, I don't think he's ready yet. Yeah, go prove yourself. You were drafted in the second round, so impress me. That's where I'm at with it, because it's just too many. It's just too many centers that's going to be playing in front of him. Now, me personally, would I want to play Drummond over Janai? Probably not. But the situation is that Drummond is making a lot of money, so you definitely got to play him, right? And I definitely would play Adem Bona over Janai too. So that's where I'm at with it. My guy Humble 216 Love says, y'all were quick with the photos. Cavs still haven't got any photos yet. I mean, I think we got photos because I mean, VJ was he was what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? He was a lottery pick, so you definitely gotta have an introductory press or whatever. And speaking of that, Ace Bailey, he delayed his because he didn't meet with the team right away. I think he took about a day or two, maybe even three, before meeting with the Jazz. Finally meeting with the Jazz, and the press conference did go well, right? He showed up being professional, and that's what I want for the kid, right? I want the kid to be successful, whether it's with the Sixers, not with the Sixers. I really wanted us to draft him, but at this moment, we can only, I can only be happy with VJ. So hopefully, nothing crazy comes out with Ace Bailey because it's been a lot of drama surrounding this kid, and he hasn't even dribbled a basketball yet in the NBA. So yeah, but Ace Bailey, I'm wishing him the best, but I mean, you're not on the Sixers. You're not wearing the blue, the red, the white. So, I wish you the best, but yeah, I wish VJ is a turns out to be a much better choice than Ace Bailey. But yeah, I'm not hating on Ace Bailey though. I am crying. But yeah, smash that like button, y'all. Smash that like button. So yeah, that concluded the draft. I think this draft was much better than last year's draft. Absolutely. I mean, much better players. Cooper Flag is going to be he's going to be a great player in the future. Dylan Harper is going to be a great player too. Trey Johnson, I think Trey Johnson is a little bit underrated, but I think he will definitely pan out to be a very, very good player in the league. And VJ, I absolutely will be an all-star in the future. And that's a hot take. Y'all can clip this. VJ Edgecombe at some point will be an all-star in the league. And Tune In Sports, you can clip this. Oh man. But yeah, I'm just having fun with it. But yeah, let me just move. Let me just pivot and get to the main point. Um he says he played against is it Malak? He played against Malak and Cooper Flag, and held his ground. So you're talking about Janai Broom, which yeah, that could be the case, but bro, in the NBA, you're not going up against Cooper Flag. You're not going up against these players. You're going up against real men, like guys that are trying to get to their bag, trying to feed their family, and put their lives on the line every single day. So it's definitely a quick transition, to be honest with you. So, it would take maybe a few games, maybe a few years for him to, properly adjust to the NBA. But I think him playing 5 years will also help him to a certain degree, transition over to the NBA. So I just hope that transition is fast and it doesn't take him a lot of time or a lot of years like it does with other centers. So, but I mean, he was drafted in the second round, and I might be underrating him a little bit because he was drafted in the second round. Which you were drafted in the second round. That's facts. So, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to prove yourself to me. You're gonna have to impress me before you know what I'm saying. Before I give you any credit whatsoever. But congratulations to him once again. For the Sixers, believing in his talents and what he's capable of doing and bringing to the table. Humble says, "Good point." Yeah, good. Yeah, I always got good points. Very few bad takes, but for the most part, yeah. What's your confidence in Philly developing VJ? He reminds me a bit of Jaylen Brown when he came out of Cal. Athletic guy, not a great shooter. Brown was developed by Brad Stevens. Curious about your thoughts. That's a good question. And I've said this in the past that the Sixers are one of the worst teams when it comes to player development. Like the Sixers don't develop. Typically, the Sixers don't develop any players, right? Joel Embiid had his talent. Maxey had his talent. Those guys put in the work outside their they did more off the court, and that's how they got as great as they are right now, or as good as they are right now. So, I don't really have any faith in the Sixers developing him, but I believe that in his work, I believe in his work ethic, like how he's willing to add to his game, how he's willing to work and improve every single day. That's the faith I have in him, and I think he's a curious player. Like he's a player that will ask questions, ask some of these players, like ask Maxey questions, ask Jared McCain questions, and, even ask Embiid questions. I see he's that kind of player to where he's very, very obsessed with the game. I mean, not obsessed. Maybe I got to use a different word, but he's really into the game. Like, he's really into the sport, and he takes his craft very, very seriously. So he will absolutely want to improve. Whether the Sixers help him improve, or he improves on his own, I think he would definitely improve as a player. Salute to my guy Sylvester. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. This might be your first time on the show. Appreciate you. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think Broom is going to be a nice player for the Sixers if Nick Nurse plays him at power forward. Now, the power forward, that's a position that the Sixers really need right now. And the Sixers have a bunch of, they have a bunch of wings or a couple wings, but these wings are typically, small forwards. I mean, Paul George is a small forward. Paul George don't want to play the four. Justin Edwards, 6'7", 6'8". He's really a small forward. Kelly Oubre, 6'7", small forward. They don't really have power forward. So, I mean, if he had the skill set for a power forward, yeah, because, I think if you play next to Embiid, you gotta space the floor. You gotta be a threat to hit the outside shot. And, his rebounding ability would have definitely helped the Sixers a lot. But, his inability to, space the floor and make outside shots, I think that's really, that's going to be the reason why he probably doesn't get any playing time with the Sixers. Now, I think that could be a reason why. And Nick Nurse, he ain't going to play you if you're a liability on the offensive side of the floor. So, yeah, but like I said, he has to go prove himself. Go to the G League, go prove yourself. And I mean, proving yourself, it's not going to take you, it shouldn't take you a lot of time. I mean, hell, Justin Edwards was in the G League, right? Justin Edwards was in the G League. He got his opportunity on the main roster, and guess what? He proved everybody. He earned Nick Nurse's trust, and he started in a lot of games, right? He started in a lot of games, and because of him starting, guess what? They converted his contract into a standard contract, and now he just signed a 3-year contract, which I will definitely get to in a very few minutes here. Yeah, absolutely. I think he is. No doubt. I think he is. I think these two guys are dogs. Like, that's absolutely what the Sixers need, dogs, right? And VJ definitely has that mentality, and I believe Broom has that mentality as well. Salute to my guy Mike Sports Vibes in the building. Appreciate you, Mike Sports Vibes, balling. Yeah, go. Y'all should definitely check him out. He does Sixer content. He covers the Phillies, and he's a Minnesota Vikings fan. So y'all should definitely check him out. But yeah, I'm done talking about the draft. That wasn't the main topic of the show, but I had to touch on it a few minutes because I didn't have a chance to talk about it after it happened. So once again, congrats to these guys in the league. I hope they are very, very successful in the very near future. He says VJ plays like D Wade. All he has to do is play hard. I mean, maybe not offensively, because D Wade was more polished coming out than I think VJ is, and I think now VJ is more athletic than D Wade. And smash that like button as y'all come in. I think VJ is more athletic, but D Wade was more skilled, and I think the skill level is what he has to develop or has to work on. The shot creation ability for himself, his teammates. Working in tighter spaces, being able to operate in pick and roll situations, being an initiator. I think these are all things that he has to work on in order to, make that leap. And I mean, to be honest with y'all, I think every guard should have that skill set, right? Every guard should have that skill set. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Joseph says, I like him too. Seems like a great kid and a student of the game. I think though, like in every sport, where you get drafted to does matter. The reason my Browns haven't found a quarterback, can't develop one. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But I mean, the Sixers have had players who, I mean, I don't think they have the best player development system, but I mean, they've had some good guards, to come out. I mean, Tyrese Maxey, has improved very, very well, or very, very so. I think Tyrese his rookie season he was shooting like 29% or 30% from the 3-point line, and I doubted Tyrese, but he put the work in. He proved me wrong, and I mean, yeah, he did put the work in. But when you get James Harden on your team, that also James Harden with Joel Embiid, guess what? It makes your job a lot more easier. So maybe that's maybe that's why his 3-point percentage was so good in his second and third season because he was ranked second. I mean, he was ranked third in one of those seasons, right? Where I think Luke Kennard was first. The dude that just got traded to the Orlando Magic, Desmond Bane was second, and then Tyrese Maxey was right there with them, right? But yeah, I mean Tyrese, he improved in his game. I mean 26 points per game. You don't average 26 points without putting the work in and improving as a player, especially from the guard position. So yeah, I think VJ. Well, I think he definitely has that work ethic, and he will put the work in for sure. Yeah, that's right, Sylvester. That's true, but I don't know why Sixer fans are not happy with with them drafting Janai. I don't know why, but I mean, me personally, I'm not. Like I said, I don't really care about second round picks, but you just hope to find a diamond in the rough within the second round. And like I said, up until last year, nobody cared about second round picks because there's been a ton of players who got drafted in the second round that never dribbled in the NBA, that never played a single game or single minute. But you just hope to find somebody who could help you in the long run. Maybe not a star, but a very good role player. And I think Janai could absolutely be that, or somebody who could be a trade piece to get a better player in the future. So yeah, I think he's definitely a dog. But playing time with this team, I doubt it. I doubt it. But yeah, let me pivot to the main topic of the show. Like I said, it's the 2025 offseason, the Sixers offseason. It's been an offseason for the Sixers for the last 2-3 months, right? Because they missed the playoffs and the season ended for them in April. But as of right now, the Sixers are going to bring back a few players that was on the team from last year. Um, and we just got to talk about it. But I'm gonna start with Justin Edwards first, right? I'm gonna start with Justin Edwards because I spoke about him a few minutes ago. So yeah, let's just start with Justin Edwards. Very good role player, very good player for his as a rookie. Didn't get drafted, was very, very surprised, but the Sixers ended up picking him up. And the Sixers also did pick up a few guys from the undrafted, few players that went undrafted. So I kind of forgot their names, but I'm gonna get their names on later on. But Justin Edwards, just like a few players that went undrafted this year, was undrafted last year. And luckily, the Sixers picked him up. He had some time with the G League. He signed to a 2-way contract, was spending time between the G League and the Sixers. And I think he had times where he played 2 games in one night, right? Playing for the G League and then coming back and then playing for the Sixers. So that's definitely a lot, right? But he earned Nick Nurse's trust, playing games. He ended up getting a standard contract for the Sixers or with the Sixers. And at some point, he was playing starter minutes. Now, yeah, Paul George was hurt. Yeah, the Sixers dealt with injury, so he was inserted into the starting role. And to me, personally, in my opinion, I think he did well. Now, yeah, depending on your expectations from a rookie who was undrafted, to me personally, he did a good job. Defensively, I saw games where he was, very, very good from a defensive standpoint, where he was guarding some of the best players. Now sometimes some of these guys they had good games against him. Damian Lillard had a good game against him because Justin Edwards was a rookie, wet behind the ears, a young whippersnapper, not too familiar with the NBA rules. So guess what? Damian Lillard was just putting them in foul trouble, right? And that's how you get players like that. You put them in foul trouble. You use their aggressiveness on defense against them, and they become a liability, and they end up in foul trouble, right? But he also had games where he was very, very good defensively and helped the Sixers win a few games. The Sixers didn't win a lot of games last year, but he when you gonna ever do a live video with your face? Nah, my setup is not done yet. That's why. But once my setup is done, yeah, I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna definitely be on video for sure. I'm gonna definitely be on video. Yeah, but yeah, that's the reason why. But yeah, Justin Edwards, played good. I mean, he started in a lot of games, and as of right now, the Sixers are deciding to bring him back. They they opted out of the team deal and signed him to a 3-year contract. So a very team friendly deal, right? Long term, right? It's 3 years, so he's going to be with the team, and I think the last year on the contract is not guaranteed, right? So there's definitely some stipulations in there in the contract. So whether it's a team stipulation, whether it's a player stipulation, it has to be met in order for the contract to be guaranteed. So it's kind of like the same contract that Paul Reed got with the Sixers. I think Paul Reed, he signed a 3-year, $25 million contract where I think the second or third season was not guaranteed. And in order for it to be guaranteed, the Sixers were going to have to win or advance past the first round the next year's playoffs. So he signed that contract in the offseason of 2023, I think. Yeah, he signed in the offseason of 2023, and meaning that that year's playoffs, the Sixers had to advance for the contract to be guaranteed. But unfortunately, the Sixers ended up losing in the first round to the Knicks, and guess what? The contract was not guaranteed, and then the Sixers ended up waiving him in the offseason of 2024, and that's how he got on the Detroit Pistons. But yeah, shout out to Paul Reed. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, so Justin Edwards is on a similar contract, but I mean his contract, the first 2 seasons are guaranteed. The last year is just not guaranteed, and in order for it to be guaranteed, I think there's some stipulations in there. I don't know what the stipulations is, but yeah, it has to be met in order for the contract to be guaranteed. But all in all, me personally, I'm really happy with this move. I think I love Justin Edwards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got some people saying that he's better than Ace Bailey. I mean, I don't know, man, but I might favor Ace a little bit, but I think Justin Edwards, he does, he's like a kind of like a two-way player. His shot creation, Justin Edwards, his shot creation is a little bit, iffy sometimes, right? But if he's wide open, he'll take the three, right? He has no problem, taking his defenders off the dribble. I mean, when he was getting starting minutes, he got, I think Nick Nurse took the shackles off of him a few times where, he was showing you what he was capable of doing offensively, taking guys off the dribble, going all the way to the basket, making plays and, showing his offensive capabilities. Now it's up to the Sixers, like my guy Joseph has been saying in the comment section. It's up to the Sixers to develop him, or he has to put the work in by himself. Now he's been working this offseason. Salute to my guy, Rap Guy Reloaded. Appreciate you for stopping by. Smash that like button if y'all haven't already. But yeah, it's up to him to put in the work. But he's been working, this offseason. I saw clips of him working with Maxey, I think in Dallas. So he's been putting in the work, right? He's been putting in the work, and hopefully it can translate into the NBA next year. But congrats to Justin Edwards, returning to the Sixers. The Sixers need some wings, and having a young, he's young. He's going to be in the second season. I think he's about 19 or 20 years old, maybe 21. Now he's probably 19, right? Very, very young. Not super athletic, but he's somewhat athletic, right? He's good defensively as well, right? Somebody who could come off the bench, give you 11, 12, 13 points off the bench. Justin Edwards, he's capable of doing that. And if you need him in the starting lineup to be a point of attack defender, guard the other team's elite wing players, I think he can definitely do it. So once again, I'm happy with this move. The Sixers get an A- from me with this move right here. So congratulations to Justin Edwards once again. Yeah, VJ is definitely a dog. He definitely is a dog. And yeah, I'm glad he's on the Sixers right now. Wish him nothing but the best for next season. What's good, boy? What's up, bro? What's up? I saw the stream earlier today. You're trying to gas up DeAndre Ayton. I told guys like this dude is a bum, and that max contract that he got from the Suns, he didn't deserve it. And I'm not gonna walk it back. I mean what I said, and I said what I meant. He didn't deserve it, but it is what it is. I'm not hating on him. I'm not saying he shouldn't get his money. Get your money. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't do anything to deserve it. You didn't make the All-Star team, no All NBA selections, no All Defensive selections. Like you didn't win MVP. Like no accolades to justify you getting a max contract. That was my whole thing. But hey, that's the dude. I don't even care about him. Whatever team he ends up signing for is their business. Hopefully he signs for the Lakers. And if he signs for the Lakers, I'm gonna start hating on the Lakers even more. I already hate the Lakers. If he signs to them, the hate level is gonna increase. Maxey and VJ are one of the best backcourt duos. You think so? Bro, they haven't even played a game yet though. But hey, if you're gonna make that take, hey, I salute, bro. I mean, you can be wrong, you could be right. Who knows? But I mean, I need to see them play. I need enough games. Like I need enough of a sample size to make a take whether they're going to be maybe in the Eastern Conference. I mean, possibly, but I mean, in the Eastern Conference, like, what are the best backcourt duos in the Eastern Conference? If y'all can tell me, I mean, maybe Donovan Mitchell, Darius. I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, because they were both all stars from last season, so and they won 64, 65 games last year. So yeah, you can definitely name them as one of the best backcourt duos. What other team? The Knicks with Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges. I mean, maybe, right? Maybe. And I mean, the Boston Celtics, who they have? Drew Holiday and Derek White. I mean, Drew Holiday's not on the Celtics anymore. But like, okay, so let's say Derek White and Anthony Simons. I mean, that could be a very good backcourt duo, right? And what other teams? The Atlanta Hawks, Trey Young and Dyson Daniels. Hmm. Jalen Suggs and Desmond Bain. Hmm. What about the Pistons? Yeah, Rap Guy says Garland and Mitchell. Yeah, you definitely gotta give it to them, right? You gotta give it to them. But what about the Pistons? I mean, my guy Cunning Wolf, like the Cunning Wolf and Tim Hardaway Jr. Because Jaden Ivey got hurt. I don't know if he's gonna be healthy. I hope he's healthy. Yeah. Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, right? That's the Pistons. And what other team? What other team? The Raptors. I mean, the Raptors are trash. Brooklyn is trash. But I mean we pretty much yeah. So I would say definitely Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. But I mean Maxey and VJ they could be, but I don't think VJ starts. I mean I could be wrong, but you know what I'm saying? Because I would definitely go with Grimes at first, and VJ is gonna have to you're gonna have to earn the minutes. I mean, yeah, I get you were drafted, you a lottery pick, but yeah, you still gotta impress me, right? Oh, Aiton signed with the Lakers already? Man, that team about to be trash, bro. That team is about to be trash. And one of the reasons why I hate DeAndre Ayton was that playoff series in 2023 when he was on the Suns, when they was playing Denver. That play where he watched Kevin Durant battle with Nikola Jokic under the basket, and he was just on the baseline, like outside the baseline, watching Kevin Durant struggle with Jokic. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, if I was KD, I probably would have knocked him out in the locker room. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, bro, we got to rumble at this point because there's no way that you're the setter and you're standing on the baseline watching me battle with the center. That don't make any sense. But I mean, it is what it is. He's still serviceable. Hell no, he's a bum, bro. He's a bust. Garland and Mitchell is the best. Yeah, nah. Not in basketball. Stop it. In the Eastern Conference, yeah, I'll give you that, but not nah. Yeah, stop it. But yeah, let me move ahead. The next player that the Sixers are not bringing him back, but he opted into his contract, which is the backup center for the Sixers, Andre Drummond. Now, Tuna Sports sent me the post where he, opted into this contract, which it was pretty much expected, right? Because the second year was worth I think 5 million, and he wasn't going to get that amount of money from any other team. So it just made sense for him to, opt in, you know, into that contract and play with the last season for the Sixers. Now, me personally, like I said, I don't want him to return because he didn't really impress me last season. And maybe we're being too tough on him because he played a lot of starter minutes, and at this point in his career, he's not supposed to be a starter, right? He's supposed to come off the bench, play spot minutes, like that's what he's supposed to be doing, right? If he plays a lot of minutes, guess what? He's going to get exposed. And for somebody coming off the bench, giving you a few rebounds, being a lob threat, he's not really athletic, but he could be a lob threat. He could jump and dunk, right? But defensively, he doesn't really give you a lot, right? He's a good rebounder, right? Very, very good rebounder. He claims he's the greatest rebounder of all time, which I wholeheartedly disagree. I think Chamberlain's the greatest rebounder of all time, but he didn't really help us, you know, as far as interior presence, paint protection. Like his thing is to grab rebounds, and even with the rebounding, there were games where Sixers were getting killed on the glass. Now, yeah, I get it. It has to be a team effort. You got to rebound by committee, but um, sometimes he didn't really give you that effort from that side of the on that side of the floor. And me personally, if you can go younger, more athletic, I would really appreciate that. So Drummond, yeah, it's a him opting into his contract. Okay, that's cool, but I give it a C plus. I give it a C plus. And if the Sixers can move him in the offseason, if you're getting like decent assets or decent pieces, yeah, I would definitely make that move. So he said it was Jokic. Ayton was terrified. Okay, so then you don't deserve a max contract then because that's your comp. Yeah, I get Jokic is the best player, yeah, but if you can't compete with Jokic, then you don't deserve a max contract. And even offensively, he wasn't even getting off on Jokic, and Jokic is not even offering any resistance in the paint, right? He couldn't even get off on that on Jokic, bro. On the Trailblazers, he can't even be the best player on the Blazers. That should tell you everything about this bum. He can't be the best player on the Blazers, and the Blazers is trash. So to be the first overall pick and you can't even be the best player on a bum team, like what are we even talking about here? But I don't even want to talk about him anymore. He says Drummond might not return. Yeah, nah, rap guy, we not doing that. It's not Billups' fault. He's a bum. Aiden is a bum. It's not Chauncey's fault. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, Rap Guy says Drummond might not return, which he opted into the contract, but the only way he doesn't return is if the Sixers, move him, right? Maybe not as the main trade piece, but use him as an add-on to get, maybe pieces in the future. And what I mean by pieces, maybe not even players, but maybe draft picks for the future. That could help you, right? Because I think Bona is he's ready from the backup center position standpoint. If Embiid is, this is all predicated on whether Embiid is going to be healthy. And I don't know, right? In the last 2 years, he's played 58 games, so I think it's kind of cool or okay to think that he's not going to be healthy or not play a lot of games. I don't want to say that. I don't want to wish that on him, but I think at this point, you gotta anticipate it, right? Salute to my guy Mitch Kovsky as well. Sixers content creator. He does everything sports, but wrestling, football, like he does it all. Y'all should definitely check him out. Yeah, I did say that Anthony Simons was on Boston, so maybe him and Jalen Brown might be the best backcourt in the league. I think Anthony Simons, he's pretty underrated too. Playing for a terrible team, you might not get the recognition and credit that you deserve. But him being with the Celtics, I think people are going to notice, what he's capable of doing. So maybe not make any deep postseason run, but individually, I think he can. He might get his props. 24, 25 a game is what I expect from Anthony Simons next year. So, he says I blame Billups and bad coaching. I don't blame Chauncey Billups. I blame DeAndre Ayton himself. He's a clown, bro. But yeah, let me go ahead. Another player that opted into his contract, which is Kelly Oubre Jr. Kelly, that this will be his third season if he returns, right? And Kelly, was a diamond in the rough to a certain degree. The offseason in 2023, the Sixers had little to no wing players, right? Only had Tobias Harris, and maybe a couple players that I'm forgetting, but they signed him to a vet minimum contract, and he absolutely proved himself, which was very, very surprising because you would think somebody who averaged 20 points per game. I mean, yeah, on the bad team, but you would think somebody who averaged 20 points per game, teams will look to add him to their roster, but no team came forward, and the Sixers ended up signing him to a vet minimum. And sometimes he was the third best player on the Sixers, right? Because Tobias Harris had nights where he wouldn't show up, even though he had his moments. But sometimes Kelly was third best player on the team. And even in the playoffs, you can make the argument that Kelly Oubre was the third best player on the Sixers with his defense on Jalen Brunson. And offensively, he was giving you about 16, 17 a game. So he earned himself a decent contract in the offseason of 2024, a 2-year deal with the second year being an option. Play the first year, Sixers, we failed, but he just opted into the second year. Now I think this is a good move, right? This is definitely a good. It helps the Sixers. I think we need more wings though, right? And maybe Kelly might be he might be the sacrificial lamb, right? To get a decent wing player that could give us something offensively and defensively as well. Now, as much as I hate to say this, yeah, Kelly might he might end up getting traded, right? He might end up getting traded, but I think the Sixers did him right. I think the Sixers absolutely did him right, giving him that contract that he was looking for the year prior. I think the Sixers did him right, but trading him, I mean, he's a fan favorite here. If you've been to a game, every time he makes a basket, like the females go crazy or whatever. But definitely a fan favorite. The Sixer fans are not gonna like it, but I mean, we trying to win though. I mean, yeah, you can be a fan favorite, but we want to win. So if moving you and getting quality pieces can help the team improve, yeah, I approve with the Sixers doing that. Absolutely. So he's underrated, and Ayton is a. Wait, who's underrated? Bro, I've always said he's a bum. Bro, I've been on live streams with BJ telling them that DeAndre Ayton is a bum, like 3 years ago, and that's probably some of my good takes. I've had some bad takes though, but Ayton being a bum, I think that's a good take, and he's showing it. He's showing it right now. He can be the best player on the Blazers. I thought McCain was a fan favorite. Yeah, McCain. I think he was developing into that, but the injury cut us short, so we didn't fully see it. But Kelly Oubre, like, trust me, if you've been to a Sixer game, like every stop that he makes, like any good play, like yeah, I'm telling you, it's like that. It is definitely like that. I don't know why, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so it might not sit well with Sixer fans, but yeah, if your team is gonna improve, yeah, I say pull the trigger, make the move, right? So that's what I expect. I expect from Daryl Morey this offseason, as free agency is getting ready to start in almost 40 minutes or maybe 38 to be precise, right? So Yeah, so those are three players that might be returning to the Sixers, right? Justin Edwards for sure, Kelly Oubre, and um Andre Drummond, right? These guys are going to be coming back. Now, there's two tricky players that might return to the Sixers, right? Now, I talked about these two players last week, right? Which ended up, I think every channel was also talking about them, which is Gershon Yabusele and Quentin Grimes. Now, like I said, Quentin Grimes, the Sixers have his bird rights, right? He's a restricted free agent, so the only chance that he walks is if the Sixers decide to not match any offer sheet that he signs with different teams. So the Sixers can pretty much they can match any offer that they feel like is good. But I mean, if a team is willing to offer him a max contract, you probably not you probably shouldn't match it, right? But yeah, he might return with the Sixers now. According to reports, he did. I mean, the Sixers did offer him a deal, but the deal was not something that his agent thought it was fair value deal. So they're still in talks. And recently, a report came out that he's looking for a long term contract starting at $25 million a year. So he's looking for he's looking for financial security, right? Which I don't blame him, right? If you put in that work, if you put up numbers, you should expect to get paid. And whether it's with the Sixers or any other team that's willing to pay you, I say take it, right? So I think he returns to the Sixers. I think they come to a deal. I mean, the Sixers and his agent come to a deal that allows him to return to the Sixers. But if he doesn't, I think it will be a loss to the Sixers because he really did a lot for the team in the absence of your best players. Now, yeah, you didn't win, but there was no expectations once your best players went down anyway. And he was putting up numbers, right? And when you put up numbers, you got to get paid. Simple as that. So, yeah. But Gershon, like I said, Gershon is most likely gonna leave. Now he purchased a house in Philly not too long ago, so there's rumors that he might return to the Sixers. But the only way he returns is, like I said, either he signs a vet minimum, another vet minimum, or the Sixers move other pieces to make room in order to sign him. But I don't think he's gonna sign with the Sixers. I think he's pretty much gone. And the Spurs is a team that we should all look out for, right? Because there's been reports that came out that says Gershon might sign with the Spurs, right? It could be true. It could be true. Could not be true. But anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. And in about a half hour from now, we're gonna see some surprises. Certain players are gonna leave their respective teams to sign to other teams that will pretty much shock a lot of people. But me personally, I'm not going to be shocked. This happens every year, right? It happens every year, so I'm not going to be surprised. But I think there's a couple free agents on the market that the Sixers got to target. Like I said, Chris Boucher is one of them, right? Other free agents too exist. Um, the power forward from the Memphis Grizzlies, right? I mean, he's unathletic, but he got the size. He goes for rebounds. I forgot his name right now. Yeah, Santi Aldama, right? I think that's a name that the Sixers, try to go after, right? Try to go for Santi Aldama and see what his market value is. Yeah, I think the Sixers got to bring back Quentin Grimes. I think you got to bring him back for sure. Who the Sixers trying to target in the trade? I think in the trade, the main focus is trying to get more wings, right? Getting more wings to the team. Me personally, in trades, I think a player that the Sixers should consider is a guy who plays for the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not even gonna, I'm gonna talk about that in a different video. Yeah, but there's a couple players that I want the Sixers to go after, but mostly wings because I think that's the position that the Sixers don't have any depth at. Right, you have guards, you got big men, but I think the wing position is where you need to focus on. Right, because you only got Paul George, Kelly, and now you got Justin Edwards too. So Yeah, go after wings. Herb Jones, might be, a decent piece that you might, go after. Um, yeah, Herb Jones, but you got to trade for him. Trey Murphy, you got to trade for those guys, right? And the Pelicans are going to look to, fleece teams because they're not. I don't think the Pelicans are trying to compete, and they know that teams are desperate for those, those pieces, those assets. So they're definitely gonna the asking price for these players are gonna be a lot. So make sure it's not anything crazy if you're going after those caliber of players, right? But it's other players, right, from the trade market that you can you know you can go after, and also from free agency, right? I think me personally, I think the wing position should be the main priority at this point. Like two way wings, 3-and-D two-way wings. That should be the. He said Chris Boucher is mid. Is he? I don't think he is. I think he has value if you play him in the right position, right? If you give him the right role, I think he absolutely has value. Damn, bro. Yeah, the player the Trailblazer player that I had in mind was Denny Avdia. Yeah, Avdia. I think Avdia is a good piece to go after. Not really a defender, but offensively he does a lot, puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Very very good transition player. He's a big player, 6'7", 6'8", right? He can give you some rebounds too, and he's a decent shooter too. So, I think Denny Avdia should be a piece that the Sixers should go after. Jeremy Grant, nah, he played for the Sixers at one point. Did he start his career with the Sixers? He probably did. But yeah, I think Denny Avdia, that's a player that I think the Sixers should go after. Yeah, Denny Avdia. Yep. And with the Blazers, you might not have to give up much, right? Because I mean, the Blazers gave up Anthony Simons for Drew Holiday and I think two second round picks. So yeah, no disrespect to Drew. I mean, Drew's a hell of a player. Chris Boucher is a Nick Nurse pick. I mean, yeah, because they both got Raptors ties, they both got Toronto ties, but yeah, I think coming off the bench or maybe even starting, I look at him as a dirty work guy, right? I look at him as a dirty work guy. So yeah, that's the role that I have, what I envision for him. Come in, do the dirty work, and help the team, right? Help the team. But yeah, I got a few more minutes here. Just I might go over a few things. So free agency starts in a half hour. Is it 5:30? Yeah, it's 5:30 right now. So yeah, free agency starts at 5:30. Let me talk about this real quick. So I was going at it with a few Sixer fans in comment sections, and some Sixer fans are saying they trade for LeBron. Now, oh my goodness. Yeah, LeBron is in what, year 23? He did put up numbers last year, right? But I mean, I don't think any team would want to trade for LeBron currently, right? In year 2022, 23, the contract is so huge. If you're moving pieces, you're gonna have to give up a lot for LeBron, and the Lakers are gonna make sure they get enough pieces to help their team in the future, right? Because the Lakers are trying to go in a different direction, and LeBron is trying to compete for a championship. Which, I mean, if you're trying to compete for a championship, why opt into that big contract? Why not opt out, sign a team-friendly contract so the Lakers can improve the team and help you compete for a championship, right? That's the question I had. But hey, LeBron is not going to leave money on the table. I mean, who would? Like, nobody's going to leave money on the table, but I don't think you really want to compete. So, but no team is going to trade for LeBron. LeBron is going to be on the Lakers. And Rich Paul and a few, a Clutch Sports, they're just putting that out there. But no team is going to trade for LeBron. Brian Windor is no team's going to trade for LeBron. So just stop it right there. And the and the Sixer delusionals that think that trading for LeBron will help the team, it's not going to help the team, right? It's not going to help the team. Not at all. It's not going to help the team. Tune In Sports says the Cavs would. I'm hesitant. I've been going back and forth with my guy Joseph on this. Bro, why trade for LeBron? Like you're gonna gut your team. The Cavs are not even gonna be contenders next year because you're gonna have to gut the team. Right? You're gonna have to give up a ton of pieces. Because the Lakers are not gonna give you LeBron for just like any pieces. Like they want pieces for the future. So why go through that when you can pretty much run it back or even go for a much more high impactful player? I'm not saying that LeBron is not high impactful, but I think LeBron's impact on, winning basketball, I don't think it's there anymore. Right? He gives you numbers, don't get me wrong. He gives you numbers offensively, but like defensively it's just, you're going to have to put him in the weak side corner. Sometimes he ball watches a lot, misses rotations, right? He doesn't tag cutters, he doesn't tag rollers. And I'm not trying to go at LeBron, but it's just facts. It's just facts. He saves his energy for offense, right? And that's what they really needed defensively in the series, and they went down, right? So, but Paul George for LeBron, would you do it? Hey, straight up, I might consider. If it's straight up, if I don't have to give up any other pieces, I might consider it. Or fuck it. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. If it's straight up, yeah, I'll do it for sure. And I mean, Paul George is from the he's from the Cali area. Well, grew up a Laker fan, so Laker fans are gonna appreciate him. But yeah, if I have to give up other pieces, nah. Because LeBron is on an expiring deal, so and Paul George got 3 more years on his contract, so yeah. And Paul George, still my favorite player, but what he showed us last year, I didn't really like it. Right. I didn't really like it. He's still doing podcasts, still doing episodes. He just dropped the episode with Paul Pierce. So I gotta go check that out. Right. I gotta go check that out. But yeah. Yeah, I'll probably do it. But no team is gonna trade for LeBron. I don't think the Cavs would. Right? I don't think the Cavs would. So Tune, I don't know if you really want the Cavs to make the move, but nah, they're not doing it. They're not gonna do it. So I expect LeBron to be with with the Lakers. I expect LeBron to be with the Lakers next year with Luka and a few other pieces. Oh, another free agent that I just remembered of, Dorian Finney-Smith. Right? Now he is looking for a huge contract himself, so that might be very, very difficult to try to negotiate a deal with him. I mean, who wouldn't look for, financial security? Like everybody would, right? So, but yeah, I think Dorian Finney-Smith was a player that I wanted last year. I wanted us to move KJ and some picks for Dorian Finney-Smith, but it didn't happen, right? Lakers ended up trading for him, but he's a free agent. I think he will be a cool piece on the Sixers, right? Somebody who could space the floor, hit threes, also play defense. That's what he does. Right? Dorian Finney-Smith does that. So, yeah. But I'm gonna definitely look out for other free agents. I put it on the screen last time, but yeah, I don't have it right now. I'm gonna have to pull that up. Other free agents, Delano Banton, right? He's a free agent, played for the Raptors, former Raptors player. A couple other free agents too on the market. Tune In Sports says I wouldn't mind it, but I wouldn't give up DeAndre Hunter. I would give up Allen. I'll give up Allen for sure, but you have to give up more than exactly. That's what I said, bro. You're gonna have to gut the team. You're gonna have to gut the team to get LeBron. And I mean, when has the face of the league ever gotten traded? Has it ever happened? MJ didn't get traded. Kobe didn't get traded. Right? MJ, Kobe, Kareem. I mean, Kareem did get traded. He asked for a trade. So okay, yeah, it might happen. It might happen. So yeah, absolutely. I like DeAndre Hunter too. I mean, he's from out here, so so I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be biased. So if Giannis can become a star, he says if Giannis can become a star, VJ can become a star as long as he puts in the work. Yeah. Now I know you're not comparing those two players, but you're saying like from a from a work ethic standpoint, because Giannis had his work ethic was very, very, Giannis came in the league, skinny as shit, right? But he bulked up to 250 or 260 or whatever he is right now. Right. He put the work in, MVP caliber player. So yeah, I get the comment. Yeah, absolutely. If you put in the work and if your coach puts you in rightful situations, yeah, you can become a star. Definitely. I agree. But yeah, shout out to is it Romel? Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you. If you haven't subbed to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel, smash the like button too. But yeah, I just got a few more minutes here. He says, I think PG about to get in his OKC bag and carry the Sixers like the 2021 Clippers. Oh, it's gonna be a revenge tour. Like, how many revenge tours are you gonna have in your career? Like, I mean, I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it, but yeah, and he owes it. He owes it to the fans. He owes it to the organization. He owes it to Daryl Morey and he owes it to Dr. J, because Dr. J, ran his mouth and said made the comparison to the Sixers getting Moses Malone back in 1982. So you made Dr. J look bad. So you definitely you gotta make up for that, right? You gotta make up for it. So, but yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. But I don't think he's in his prime, so I don't think that's possible. Right? I don't think that's possible. Not at all. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Yeah, I said the same thing too. I was like, yeah, making a comparison to Moses, but I mean Moses was an MVP that year, and nah. I like Paul George, but nah. That's that's risky of a thing to say, right? Because you ended up winning the championship, and Paul George and the Sixers ended up missing the playoffs. They didn't even make the playoffs, right? So, yeah, I think if he has an opportunity, he'll probably walk it back. Yeah, he'll probably take it back. Yeah, that was wild. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with DFJ Hoops, talking about the Sixers, off-season plans, players that are gonna return to the Sixers next year, free agents that they can possibly go after, and potential trade targets, right? And like I said, Denny Abdia is a player that I want the Sixers to, try to go after, right? Now Herb Jones, one of the players, straight jacket. Trey Murphy. I like Trey Murphy. Is it the fourth, the fifth? Yeah, I think Trey Murphy. I really fucks with him. Cooper Flag is Keith Van Horn. Hey, that should take. I mean, but y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Cooper Flag is the next Scottie Pippen. No, he's not the next Scottie Pippen. Is he going to be a two-way player like Scottie? I don't think so. But he's definitely going to be the best player in his draft, right? He's going to be the best player in his draft. But I mean, going to Dallas, I mean, AD is going to be around, right? He might be the second or maybe third option, but it might be a little difficult for him in the beginning, right? It might be difficult for him. But yeah, I think he'll probably adjust to it, right? Might be some growing pains, but he'll definitely adjust to it. And the same goes for VJ Edgecombe, and the same goes for Janai Broom as well. Dylan Harper will be the best player in the draft. Yeah, I know you'll say that, right? I know you'll say that. Nah, I think VJ will be the best player in the draft. I think VJ will be the best player in the draft. Oh, so you're saying that Dylan Harper will be the best in the draft, like immediately, but in 5 years from now, Ace Bailey will be the best player in the draft? And yeah, Utah ended up trading Colin Sexton, and they're working out a buyout with Jordan Clarkson. So, and Clarkson, he been on the team for a long time, man. I remember he was on the team with Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, like that Utah Jazz team in 2021. That was the first seed in the West, and he's still currently on the team. That's surprising, right? Because they broke that team apart. Gobert ended up getting traded. Mitchell ended up getting traded. Mike Conley ended up getting traded, but he's the last player on that team. So, I mean, the Sixers got a lot of guards, but man, Jordan Clarkson is that is that microwave scorer off the bench, right? If you got an opportunity to go after him, yeah, you take your shot. You go after players like Jordan Clarkson. Wait, what is he? He got drafted in 14, so he's in year 10. So not too old. Not too old. Well seasoned. Former 6 man of the year. Jordan Clarkson just takes shots. Yeah, that's true. Not really a defender. But I mean, he could. I mean, he's a former 6 man of the year, so you got to give him that. Got to respect him, right? You got to give him his props. Yeah, but free agency will start in about 15 minutes. It's gonna be a few surprises. Expect some surprises this year too. Right? Expect some surprises, but yeah, I'm getting ready to get off. It's been a good show. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Saw a couple new faces in here. Salute to Romel. Salute to Sylvester. And salute to Jay. Yeah, salute to Jay too. Joseph was in here. Rap Guy Reloaded was in here. Humble was in here. Yeah. And Jay was asking for my face. So yeah, I gotta get my setup right and then get on camera. Oh man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate Tuning Sports. Yeah, he did a live stream earlier on today, capping for DeAndre Ayton. Sixers parade. Let's get ready. Man, that'll be cool, bro. Yeah, on Broad Street. Let's go. Let's get on Broad Street. Oh man. But yeah, if there's a Cavs parade, I'm gonna definitely be in Cleveland. I'm gonna be in Cleveland, feet on land. Just like I'm in here in Philly, feet on land. Oh man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me get ready for free agency to see what's going on with the Sixers, the entire NBA. And I'm also interested in who the Knicks hire for the head coaching job moving forward. I mean, I heard Dawn Staley might, she they offered to give her an interview, which I mean, I wouldn't. I think no, it's just never mind. He said the Knicks are a joke. I mean, how do you fire your head coach without a plan? I mean, I don't know how that happens, but man, surprises happen every day. These organizations, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. I got you, bro. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Um, hope to see what happens, right? Wait, Toon, did DeAndre Ayton sign with the Lakers yet? Did he get on the Lakers yet? Because I don't know. And if the Lakers fail, he will get the blame. So he should get ready for that. If he signed with the team. Oh, all right. Because Rap Guy was saying that he signed with the Lakers already. So I had to verify. So yeah, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.